Hello, hello. Can you hear me? I've had trouble getting on tonight. It is 11:20 p.m. UK time. We are live on Twitch, hopefully, and YouTube. I've had trouble getting on tonight, guys. I don't know if you can hear us. Give me a yes or a no. Hello, hello. Hello there. Hiya, guys. I don't know if I'm on multi-stream. Something's not working. I've had a real trouble getting on tonight. Apologies, I'm running late. It's so hot. So I don't know if it's actually cooled down up here in the north, but it's still warm for me. But I don't think it's that. I don't know if it was something else going on, like a glitch. But I'm here, guys. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you all are around the world. We are going to delve deep tonight. We are going to look into the looking glass and see what's ahead in this crazy, crazy world. Let's go multi-stream. I'm just refreshing the chat. I'm having a lot of problems tonight with the internet. So give me 2 minutes because everything's just gone off there. Oh, Lordy. I can't even see his error back fetch failed it's got. So tonight I can't see what's going on multi-stream. Something's going on. Possibly being banned from YouTube, possibly. Because I can't see it. Does anybody know that I'm live on YouTube? Could you let us know, please? You had to go out and come back in. Wow. Let me see. All right. Well, apologies, YouTubers. I can't. What I'm going to do is... See, that's going to go flat. Oh, shit. Sugar, sugar. What I'm going to do is I'll put the comments on my phone here so I can see is... Because for some unknown reason it's not working on there. I feel like a great negativity towards us tonight. I don't know if it's the planets. I feel really choked. And I just think I really don't know what's going on. I think the heat's not helping. You give me 2 minutes because it's not showing I'm live on my phone even. So it's blocking me seeing myself online. I mean, how crazy is that? It's not even coming up. Now I can't see people on Twitch. Okay, I just can't see it. That's really weird. I'm sure I'm in some sort of glitch here. So if I'm definitely on YouTube, according to my phone, I'm not. That's crazy, isn't it? There's something definitely off. And I can't access any... So how weird's that, guys, right? I can't access my YouTube on my YouTube to me live. And I can't see anybody reporting on YouTube through Streamlabs. So that's really weird. So I'll just have to blag it tonight. I can't. Apologies, guys, on YouTube. Unless you want to come and jump onto Twitch. People said they can see us on both, but the problem is I can't see your comments. So if you're asking us questions, I'm not going to be able to answer you. Apologies about that. I don't know what's going on. I definitely feel something's messing with us at the minute. Yeah. That is so weird. Let me turn this off. Reload my phone. It's 2 minutes. Somebody's ringing my phone. Who would be calling my phone at this time of night? That is crazy. Computer's ringing my phone. I feel really spaced out, guys. Can you see us? Can you hear us? There's a low level of static. I've got a fan on in the background. Right, 2 minutes. I can't even access this. Car's extended warranty, probably. Oh, the energy is definitely wackadoodle at the minute, like, definitely. Right, so people are saying they can see us. That's great, thank you. It's just, the problem is I can't see yous. I'm being blocked. Oh, yeah, right, I've got you up now. Right, we'll add to that down. Right, so I'll just blag this and I'll catch your comments on there. Well, good evening, YouTubers, and I'm reading you through my phone so I can see you. Let's just see if the multi-streams come back on there. No error. That's weird, isn't it? Where's Jim when I need him? Wackadoodle. That's really good, isn't it? I like that name. That word. Yeah, so I've been to Curry's this afternoon, which is like a department store over here, and I got myself a this amazing Ice King fan, and it's going off in the hole. I hope you can hear us all right. The cats love it, just to keep the place cool, you know. So what am I going to do? I think I'll leave you like that. How much? I'll tell you what I'll do. Honestly, I'll put that in there like that. Right. So anyway, hi guys. I've now got 4:04 in, and yeah, I've come on to do the latest, to see what's going on. Apologies that I haven't been on since last Sunday, because I've just been really, really busy. And the heat has been immense over here. It's been on another level. And I'm convinced when they say, oh, it's only 75 and it feels like it's 105. There's something not quite right. And I know there's a lot of Brits in the audience, especially on Twitch here tonight. I don't know if you feel that it's definitely felt hotter than what they're saying. You know what I mean? And trying to buy aircon fans on, say, Amazon or whatever, like it's saying, oh, they'll come in 2-3 weeks time. I'm telling you, it's just been crazy. But I predict, I'm going to look into the weather tonight actually, because I think it's going to get even crazier and hotter as the next decade goes on. And I really do feel for the UK that there's going to have to be a change in our housing, or they're going to have to supply with AC. So I'm going to look into that. Because the new houses now, what they're building, I believe that they're putting the AC in. But the government need to do something, because it's just absolutely ridiculous. Because what happens is, over here, the heat gets trapped in because the houses they're sort of built to keep the cold out, not to keep the heat out. Do you know what I mean? And it keeps the cold out, so that they're sort of like made to be warm, So any little bit of sunshine we get, it rises and it's just unbearable to walk up the stairs. It's just dreadful. And it gets to the stage like you can't even open the bloody window because the heat's coming through from the window and you're like that and you can't you can't breathe, you know what I mean? It won't be like that for everybody. Some people who live near the coast, it might be a bit breezier, you know, but it's dreadful when you're inland. And of course it's a full moon, strawberry moon. I always get affected with a full moon. Very, very strange. So, Celestial Fleas put here, new houses are actually banned from having AC, if I remember, due to an insane net zero. That's absolutely pathetic. I think they're trying to heat what up. It's like the houses are like air fryers. They really, really are. Nothing would stop me getting one in. You know what I mean? I just think they've just, they think they can tell you to do everything, you know what I mean? The even down to like the chimneys, what they're called, the log burners. They're trying to stop them, the councils as well. They're just idiots. So Owen's put here, Arizona is hotter than with menopause. Oh my God. Well, it's been hotter than Satan's arsehole over here. It really has. Not that I've been near Satan's arsehole. I wouldn't want to. But it's like if you could imagine it. In the USA, central AC is almost mandatory. Yeah, I think it should be now because we're like a little island. So you could imagine it becomes swamp-like. When we have a heat wave, it becomes like a swamp. It really is dreadful. So this is why we're all online moaning about it. Because it's just not good, you know what I mean? So apparently it's going to get, I don't know if it's going to get cooler or it's going to get hotter. I thought it was going to get cooler, but Kim's just said here it's going to get warmer again. So I've looked into getting it fitted, the AC, and it's nearly £1,000 a room. I mean, how pathetic's that? They've got to be able to do deals, haven't they? That's just ridiculous. Yeah. But I feel sorry for my friends and clients down in London. God knows how they've been dealing with it, because it's even hotter down in London, in the Midlands, in Manchester even, which is only a couple of hours down the road from Newcastle. It's been really hot. In Wales, they took it really hot as well. So yeah, Starmer's left. So I'm going to look into what's ahead for the UK. The strangest thing is, when I had clipped it actually, I had said that I felt Brazil, because I went by the colours, and I felt Brazil was going to win, and they did. I wanted Scotland to win, like, you know what I mean, but never mind. I felt Brazil was going to win. And I also said online, you can check it out, that the psychic, which was on TikTok, what was saying that there was going to be some alien invasion. Can you remember? And it had gone viral on TikTok. And I had said that's not going to happen. But what's going to happen is, around about that time, there's going to be an incident. And I could see sort of like smoke, rubble, people getting upset and running away from a situation. And if it wasn't around that time, it was just after. And that night, I think it was just after the incident when you had the match in Miami. You had was it Venezuela? You had the earthquake. So obviously I was picking up on something, because I felt that there was something coming, and it was very extreme. And it was quite a big earthquake they had as well. So I don't know if there's been any deaths with the situation, but I send healing and blessings out to everybody who was affected with that earthquake. right? So I'm going to look into, I think it's important that we look into any more situations like that. I'm going to do a lot of remote viewing tonight. So I've got this, she's been in the crystal ball, has been in the garden all day. And I'm going to be scrying and looking into that. Also as well, people who aren't subscribed, you won't be able to subscribe. You won't be able to subscribe. People who are subscribed are the only ones now who can comment. I've changed everything on my YouTube because I was looking into it, that I felt there was a big majority, 70 to 80% of people nearly, who weren't subscribed, who were watching us. So I thought, you know what? I thought if you want to comment, you're going to have to subscribe, and it's free, you know, and it helps with the algorithms. So do check. Obviously I can't see. I mean, yeah, I'm getting people coming through here who are talking on my YouTube, so they'll be subscribed. And then you've got to wait an hour, and that's going to stop the trolls as well. So it's a new thing what YouTube's doing now, which I think is great. Okay, it took us hours to go through all my bloody videos because you couldn't just do it with one sweep. You had to go through individual videos, but at least now it's done. So what else am I going to look into? I feel I need to check out again what's going on with China and Taiwan. I need to check out maybe what's happening with Russia again, with Ukraine. And of course the Middle East, what's happening there. And a lot of people have been asking us about when's this financial crash going to happen, what's going to happen, you know, with the market and everything. So I'm going to look into that again, because you know how temperamental that can be, and it goes up and down and that. But yeah, we're living in very strange times on Earth. We really, really are. So I'm going to start in a minute. We've got 643 coming in. And I just want to say a big thank you to my moderators on YouTube as well as Twitch. Thank you, Rick, and everybody else who's there. Let me see. Just reading some of your lovely comments. For keeping this place safe as well. So we're going to get not so many trolls coming in now because they've got to wait an hour. So trolls aren't going to be so they just go on to the next one, don't they? Bots or whatever they are. So gold and silver's down at the minute. I'll just put that there like that. Oh, sugar. Yeah, honestly, at the minute I had made a lovely thumbnail for tonight as well, and I couldn't even use that. Everything's like strange is happening. I've lost your comments, guys, again. Me 2 minutes. There they are. There, put that there like that. I don't like this full moon malarkey. I really, really don't. It really pisses us off. But there you go. Just said I would say that. So I hope yous aren't too hot, and I hope yous are all keeping well. And so apparently, all right, Macron's going to leave in 2027. That's strange. I'm sure I had this vision that he'd already left. I'm sure I'm in some sort of time loop. You know, when you're convinced you've seen it on the television that he had resigned last year or the year before or something. Can anybody else remember that? It's like the Mandela effect. So I like what Army Phones put here. Everyone needs to focus on a higher timeline so we don't have bad things happening from the DS. That is very, very true. Yeah, so it seems like there's something definitely in the air tonight, doesn't it? Eh? So without further ado, and for new people coming in, this is like coming to a spiritist church. It's not just what I do with the world predictions. And oh, thank you, Gerard. Gerard sent me this. Where's it gone? Gerard from Scotland. He made us this lovely healing necklace. So thank you very much. What was I going to say? The heat. So yeah, it's like coming to a spiritualist church, and where I ring the bell and I invoke all the angels to come in to form the circle of light. So if you need to have any healing prayers on anybody or anything, you just write the name in the comment section, either in the stream or afterwards in the comment section, and you will receive the healing that you need. Okay, and it's timeless as well. So let me get a drink of tea. It's lovely. I love this time of night, you know, when it goes quiet and it starts to get cooler outside. I've got my ice water. I put it in the freezer. Can you see the ice in it? And because of that, it's warped the bottle, and now the bottle the bottle won't stay straight. Never mind. Okay, so where's my bell? Oh yeah, we've had some crazy thunderstorms as well. So sit back and relax, and we are going to look into the looking glass. I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael, I invoke Archangel Michael. I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel, I invoke Archangel Uriel. I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel, I invoke Archangel Gabriel. I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael, I invoke Archangel Raphael. Just bringing in all the angels for your soul. So any situation that you're worried about, or thing or person, just write it in the comment section, either in the stream or afterwards, and you will receive the healing prayers you need. I ask my faithful spirit guides to come forth tonight to give us the true answers that we need. Jed, White Buffalo, Running Star, A2I, and Ra. Any angels that like to come forth, star beings, fairy elementals, anybody from the spirit world who would like to come forth to give us the true answers that we need tonight. With love and light, love and light, love and light. Amen. I feel like Archangel Michael's just putting a great big cloak around we're all tonight to keep we're all safe. And also, I like what Stu just put there for Gaia's animals and everyone in need across the planet. It's like the planet is fractured. She's going through some sort of, she's healing. Not just us, we are ascending, but so is Mother Gaia. And the animals are feeling it too. And we must not forget about the wild animals outside as well, not just about our pets. And I want to also put a message out that to keep all animals safe in this heat, not to lock like dogs and cats and cars and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And yeah, and also the little children around the world. All the evilness, what's going on the planet, which is still going on. We need to raise the vibrations in this forum tonight to push away all that negativity and to bring everything to the forefront. Like the film what Mel Gibson did, you know, it's still happening. There's still a lot of heroes working behind the scenes who are trying to clear away all this negativity. The world is about to change, And there's been a dark underworld which has been operating for thousands of years. And once this new earth comes into play and in the new technology, it's not, this dark underworld is going to find trouble operating and getting away with what they've been getting away with. So what I'm actually saying to you is, I think there's going to be a lot of futuristic technology of tracking, which I'm going to look into tonight as well. But the truth needs to come out, and I think that we need a safer future for our kids anyway, don't we? That's what it's all about. So I'm just reading some of your comments here. There's been awful fires apparently in Sedona. The poor animals. We've got to think of the wild animals, the horses, the cows, all the animals. Mountain lions, everything. So I don't know if I told you guys that I'm going to be saving up and I want to go on a safari and take my family. When I say my family, the 2 boys, my daughter-in-law and my little granddaughter. This is my dream, and I want to go on a safari to Africa to go, to see the animals and walk with the lions and all of that type of thing. It's something that I want to do. I've been doing a lot of research on the safest ones to do. So the safaris where you actually go on foot, yeah, where you've got like a guide where he protects you. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. So I'm all excited, and that's what I'm aiming for. So yeah, I'm getting my windows, new windows put in my house. Is it not next week, the week after? I'm a little bit nervous about it because of the girls, because, cats, animals, or pets don't like change. So hopefully it's a nice day so I can put them in the cattery, but it's not too hot. So I've got a cattery in the garden so I can put them in there, but if it's too hot, it's going to be hard to leave them out in the heat. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully, and pray for us that the windows goes well. But it's needing an update. It's an old house. When I say old, it's 1960s built house. But it needs some love and attention. So I've saved up and I've got the windows getting done. So I'm all excited about that. I'm getting lovely shutter windows and that. So yeah, it's all changing, coming in, all changes. But these new windows I'm getting are going to keep the cold out in the winter and the heat out in the summer. I could have done with them now, like. But yeah, that's my plan. I'm not somebody who goes on holiday much. I do get quite nervous traveling. It's ever since the 9/11. I don't know if there's anybody else in the audience is the same. And plus, I've got a lot of responsibilities here. I live with my son who's autistic, so it's not like I can just go buggering off somewhere and leaving him, because I'll probably come back to a bloody bungalow. But I am getting help put into place now, so where I can get the help where somebody can stay with him while I go away now, since his diagnosis of his autism and ADHD. So yeah, so I'm going to start doing more things like that. But this is going to be a big family holiday that I'm aiming at. The last time we had a big family holiday was Barbados. And you're talking, the last time I went abroad was 2003. So you can tell that I'm not somebody who goes abroad a lot. And that was a long time ago. So yeah, I'm due to go again. So I know there's a lot of Brits, and they go to Spain, or they go on holiday, Benidorm or the Canary Islands. I really am not like that at all. I'm somebody who would rather just hang around and just go to the seaside for the day, that type of thing. So, but this is something I've always wanted to do, and I feel Africa's in my blood. My granddad used to live out there in the 50s. He was well respected out there, and he was well liked by the locals. He was an architect, and he built houses over there. So I feel it's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm gonna definitely do it. So if anybody's been to Africa, you'll have to let us know. Yeah, you'll have to email us or messages and tell us what to do and what to do and all of that type of thing. And that's something else what Stu just put, not aware of having turned on the TV for 4 years. Well, I do sometimes watch the TV, like Netflix. Sometimes I'll watch certain things, but it's very rare, very, very rare. And apparently this new Steven Spielberg film, my friend was saying that it wasn't too good, or they expected more from the film. So I don't know if anybody else is thinking that as well. I haven't seen it yet. Isn't the Canary Islands part of Africa? I believe so, yes. So Maggie's put, yeah, my father used to lead trips to Africa to see the animals and teach how to take care of them. He died in 2019. Oh, Maggie, that's so lovely. That's so lovely. I'm going to fish out some photographs of my granddad with his hat on, and when he was going on safari with I'll see if I can get a hold of the photographs of my mum, and I can show you next week. So Catherine Green's put here, Louise, Close Encounters was on yesterday. Or was that at the pictures? Oh, yeah, you're about the old Close Encounters. Well, talking about Close Encounters, I'll quickly tell you this before we start. I had a strange encounter here late last night. So always on a Saturday night, because, you know, I'm just the boring girl what talks to the wall. And Adam had gone to bed, and I always play my music on a Saturday night. It's just something I do, and I always like reminisce about things and that. And I was playing the music, and I had gone outside. I was making a cuppa, and I'd gone outside to the bin in the garden to put some rubbish away. And something made us look above my house. And I looked above my house, no word of a lie. It looked like a great big huge mother fucking ship above my house, like a formation. It was a cloud formation. Right, now, I know some people think that they're masking as clouds, but it could have been a cloud, I don't know. But it gave a vibe that it looked like a mother ship, okay? And it was huge. And I got a little bit creeped out. And there was a storm brewing as well. And I've got an alleyway down the side of my house. And I seen in my mind's eye, like little greys running down the side alleyway. And I got really creeped out. So I came back in. And I just turned the music back up. I actually posted about it actually on my community page on YouTube. You'll have to check it out, and on Facebook. So I was blasting the music, Footloose from the 80s. And I thought, if I'm going to get taken out, I may as well get taken out with a great epic song. Do you know what I mean? But it did feel really, really creepy in here last night. So I don't know if anybody else has had any strange experiences. It may just have been a cloud, you know. I'm not saying it was definitely a mothership, but it looked like a mothership. I felt like I was in some sort of scene from War of the Worlds, you know what I mean? Like Tom Cruise. I felt like I was standing there, and I thought, what the hell's that above my house? It was huge. So there's been some crazy storms as well. So without further ado, we're going to see what's going on. Right, okay, so I'm going to look into the weather. I think it's really important. I'm just going to see. You can't ask the ball. You've just got to see what comes in. But usually what you want sort of comes through anyway, or it tries to come through. Okay, straight away I've got the boot of Italy. So there's going to be some news coming in around Italy. So yeah, we had the earthquake of Venezuela. So I want to send healing and blessings out to everybody around that neck of the woods of the world. I feel there's more earthquakes to come. And I'm very drawn to Turkey tonight, guys. And I know there's a lot of Brits go on holiday to Turkey. And I've got Turkish clients, you know, over in Turkey and that. So I just feel like I need to send healing and blessings over to that neck of the woods as well. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. But I do feel, remember the last time was like last year? Or was it the year before? I think it was 2025, wasn't it? They had all the earthquakes in Turkey, and I feel there's possibly more of them to come. Okay, so we've got strange weather. Lots of strange weather events. Now, I've seen this before in a situation like the Phoenix Lights coming in again, but it's bigger than that, or it's on a bigger scale. And it makes you think, is this staged or is it real? And I actually think it's real. You know, so anything is possible now in our timeline. Anything is possible. So I have been telling people for a while that we need to prep. It's very, very important that we need to do that. And prep to what you need. Do you know what I mean? Some people are lucky enough where they've got, you know, the posh sort of generators. I've just got one of them little chippy, you know, like the petrol ones, what they have like at the Gypsy Fairground, the petrol ones. I've got one of them, but it would still run my fridge freezer and maybe a few lights and that. But we do need to prep. I'm going to do a video for like how to prep in the city. Yeah. It's great if you're off grid, like my son and daughter-in-law are. But I think that for people who are relying on the grid, we need to have a plan in order. So at some point I'll be doing a video sooner rather than later. Okay. I'm seeing the whales in the sea and I don't know why. Or there's going to be some news to do with a whale on the news or something in the sea. Right, they're showing us something bursting in the sea. I don't know if it's like an oil, something to do with oil in the sea and it's affecting the aquatic life. So I also want to send healing and blessings out to the aquatic life as well, and all the animals in the sea as well. Okay. I'm getting quite a nervous feeling when I'm looking in this crystal ball tonight. And I'm feeling like something's ready to kick off and I don't know what it is. It's in the US as well. So guys, I don't know what's actually, I haven't been taking much notice, but is it going to be Andy Burnham or whatever it is for our next Prime Minister? Because I don't really know. Apparently his nickname is King of the North. But to me, I just think they're all the same. They're all, as Nana says, they're all tarred with the same brush. Just a different face, same energy. Okay, I did say a little while ago that there would possibly could be a guy with dark hair with a bit of green. Well, he sort of fits the bill a bit. But I don't know who the woman was because I felt a woman was going to come into play. But you've got to understand, we're not voting this. This is just, they've pushed Keir Starmer out, so the Labour Party, so this is just, they're replacing him. I'm just seeing what you are saying. Yeah, it's the same agenda, isn't it? But obviously Andy Burnham, am I pronouncing his name right? He fits the description of the man that I said, dark with bits of grey in his hair. But I still don't know. We do need some look like, don't we? I mean, how many prime ministers think about it, how many prime ministers have we had in the UK over the last decade? It's shocking, isn't it? There's been so many. I mean, there was Liz Truss. There's just been so many. And we've had quite a few women prime ministers as well. There's been about 7, hasn't there? I'm laughing at Glenda, what she's got here. Glenda, LG, she says, I'm driving while I'm listening to you. That's so funny. Yeah, I think we've had about 7 prime ministers. It's absolutely ridiculous. They need to get their act pulled together. It's all very catty in there, you know what I mean? And I've said this before, never mind what's going on in the White House, you know, Parliament's very bitchy. Very bitchy. Can you hear Adam in the background? He's talking to the cat. He's been watching a movie upstairs. I said, make sure you've got it on low because I don't want to be done for copyright. And I also said to him, I've just done out the spare room and put fresh bedding on. I says, don't go in the spare room because I've made it all nice and clean and tidy. And he's gone in the spare room. I can hear him. He's gone into the spare room, little bugger. Never mind. Okay. I think there's a lot of scandals still to come out there to do with Parliament. So why am I getting the next 2 to 3? Is it this week or next, the following week? Big news to do with one new Prime Minister. I really don't know how it works. 2 to 3 weeks they're giving me here. Big news coming in with Parliament. I'm seeing a woman in a red dress walking in, clapping, and she's got like something in her hand. Is that the Chancellor of the Exchequer? Or is this the new Prime Minister? Can't be a woman, can it? Did they say it's definitely going to be Andy Burnham? So someone said that Andy B did the Freemason handshake with the House Speaker. Oh, they all are. They're all into it. Definitely. Okay. But apparently he's quite well liked. He's been the MP for Manchester. So he's quite a northern lad. So July the 9th, they're going to vote. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm seeing a woman with a red dress. God knows who that is. Sometimes I jump the gun in this, you know. Because I do think we're going to have another female Prime Minister again at some point. Interesting. Celestial Fleas, MP for Manchester, where he screwed up the police there. It doesn't take much to screw the police up, does it? Okay. Right, so I'm seeing a man shaking, and I always nearly call him Prince Charles. I see a man shaking King Charles, because he always got to go and see the King or the Queen, don't they? Going to Buckingham Palace to shake his hand, and it's a man's hand that I'm seeing. You know, the waffing they'll be doing. Oh, hello there. And then King Charles going, oh, good morning, Prime Minister. Okay. So possibly could be him. And just after that point, there's going to be some big news to do with around King Charles. Or to do with around the royal family. So he was the Mayor of Manchester. And I believe his nickname is the King of the North. So Debbie's put here, I don't see Andy Burnham being Prime Minister. Well, it's a man's hand that I'm seeing. I always felt there was a woman there, but it's a man's hand shaking King Charles's hand. Who else is in the mix? I don't know who else is in the mix there. Maybe we'll look at it nearer the time. But nevertheless, after there's been a handshake, there's going to be some big news coming in, not just to do with Buckingham Palace, but also to do with 2 global incidents, and one of them's to do with the United States around the White House. That's coming through really strong. Okay. I'm feeling really strongly that William will be on the throne quicker than what you think. There's a lot to happen. Within 21 weeks. That's a strange thing to say, isn't it? Within 21 weeks, there's going to be a lot of change happening globally and definitely around Parliament. This is really strange. Not 1, but 2 changes within Parliament. What a weird thing to come out. Why would I come out with that? Not 1, but 2 changes within Parliament. The rise of the protests, and I've just seen Tommy Robinson bouncing out of this crystal ball. There's going to be more news coming in with him. Is he due back in court or something? Because I see court problems there. There's been a lot of them what's covered up the grooming gang. Someone's put their hair spike on YouTube, I believe. Yeah, that's so funny because I'm getting Tommy Robinson's coming out here. So maybe there's more stuff to come out there. A lot of cover-ups within the police force as well. I think that what happens is they get so far up that ladder and then you don't know who's what and who's a nonce and who's not. You know, they're all at it. You know what I mean? It's all weird. And it's the same within the BBC and everything, isn't it? They're all covering each other up. All walks of life, really. Hollywood, the lot. It's trying to, what's that saying? Trying to sort out the wheat from the chaff. Tommy's going to be in trouble again. I see some trouble. And I also get Julian Assange. He's been quiet and I'm getting news coming in with him. Okay. Right. So there's going to, I've just seen Putin's face bouncing out of this crystal ball. And there is some huge news coming out there with him. And it's to do with Ukraine. But there's another country coming in here, or Putin's having a lot to say about it. There's going to be problems there to do with another country. Actually, I've just seen Trump's face as well. So I don't know if it's Trump causing a problem or wanting something to do with another country. You know, like he did with, wasn't Iceland, was it? There's something else coming up, and then I say Putin coming in on a situation. Or there's a problem. No. Sorry. There's a problem, and there's something to do with oil in a country. Remember that? And there's going to be a big explosion. Right? Remember everything I'm telling you, and it'll all fall into place like a jigsaw puzzle. And then Trump's face is there, Putin's face is there. There's all this. And I get A. And the given is, don't cry for me, Argentina. Now, I don't know if it's to do, like Spirit is given as that song because it's got something to do with that country, or it's something completely different to do with what happened in Argentina. History repeating itself. But there's going to be hell on. There's going to be another country brought in. There's going to be explosions and people. And they're trying to get people out of a situation. And Putin's face is coming, boom, right out of this crystal ball. So I don't know if he's trying to come in to save the day or to block something. But he's taken the side with Iran. But there's something brewing, right? Now, I'm not saying this to fearmonger, you know what I mean? I'm scrying. I'm remote viewing. This is what they're showing us here. But you know what? It's all part of the plan. So you've got sort of good stuff going on as well as bad stuff going on. Light and dark. The ball's actually really heavy. Yeah, so I don't feel Venezuela's out of the woods yet. I still feel it needs to heal. Fractured earth. More fractures to come. More earthquakes to come. I'm just looking, I'm scrying around underneath the sea at the minute, the seabed. I'm just seeing what's going on. I've always felt there was a fault, wasn't there? There was a fault. Was it around the east coast of the USA? But that looks like it's healed up a little bit. No. No, there's still something there. Wait a minute. You know, it's really weird because I feel like I'm looking in two timelines here. From old Earth to new Earth. Possibilities, what can take place. Okay. So a big explosion in the east. This is what they're giving us. And countries just scrambling, taking sides on a situation. They're giving us the 15th. Oh my goodness. So, sorry, wait a minute. Is this a possible timeline? Night terror. People told to stay indoors. Patrolling helicopters. Drones. What is going on? Surveillance. Something bigger's coming than the lockdowns we had in the past. So, according to Terry Law here, thank you, Terry, for that information. Apparently, there's over 50k people missing in Venezuela. God love them. It's just true what they say, isn't it? My nana used to say this, you just don't know when your time's up. And you're supposed to live your life the way it's your, live your life the way, like it's your last. Just enjoy your life as best you can. So apparently they've had over 400 aftershocks since the quakes. Like, I don't feel it's out of the woods yet. I feel any healers in this audience tonight, we need to all blast Venezuela with beautiful light, protection to help them. Because I do believe prayers also not just heal people, they can heal land. I really do believe that. And that's called grid work. I've just been talking about that tonight with somebody, a lovely lady in the States. So yeah, grid work is something that we can all do. So if you feel the need that you want to, just give a thumbs up, and yeah, we'll do it tonight when I come off. We'll all concentrate, sending love there to Venezuela. Is there quite a lot of running horses free around that area? Because I feel like the scared animals as well. Okay. I was just talking about this the other day as well. Oh yeah, it was to a lovely lady in Ireland, and the convoy that we had, and all the truckers. There's something else coming. There's a bigger convoy, and there's going to be a lot more problem with farmers and ranchers. And I feel like I need to send healing and blessings out there to the cattle and the beef trade and all of that type of thing. Problems there. Any situation what could take place with a germ is definitely being placed deliberately. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. This is what I see. I get number 12 connected with it, and number 5. Everything I'm telling you will fall into place there like a jigsaw puzzle. So Patricia's put here in the audience on YouTube. I'm just jumping backwards and forwards here. Labour has made a clever move with Burnham. Can you elaborate on that? Do you feel he's going to be good there, Patricia? We need protection actually on all countries. I definitely agree on that, Rose. But I think that tonight I'm seeing it very fractured, wobbly, broken Venezuela, patchy underneath, very unstable. There is also a fault underneath Italy, what needs sent there for some healing. Turkey still has wobbly bits, it needs healed. These are the places. There's a fault going right the way through the China Sea, which could, I'm not saying it yet, could cause a tsunami. I'm just like scrying the whole planet at the minute. And you've got all this hoo-ha going on there with, you know, the weather's changing. And some people say that, you know, it's not the case, that it's global warming. I do believe in global warming, right? I think some things are done deliberately, don't get us wrong, but I also think that the planet is screaming out for attention and it needs to be healed and protected. You only have to look at the state of the seabed to see what's going on. And I mean, look at the ice caps, they're melting, and the polar bears, and they do need protected. And well, the weather's going to get crazier. It's going to get crazier. We're going to get crazy storms to come in the UK within a decade. And it's all to do with the global warming, right? So yeah, we're going to need... I think my houses are quite strong, but I think that we're going to need... there's going to be hotter summers to come. It's going to be the new norm into the future. And across not just the UK, I'm looking at Europe. This is really strange because I'm actually seeing where there could actually be fires bursting out in different places. Now, sometimes I do feel that this is brought on with certain fires. Can you remember a little while ago, quite a few years back, was it in California? There was these fires just intermittently just bursting out. And there'll be like a tree what was still standing there. It had looked like it'd been just beamed at these buildings and places. So I do feel that's going on as well. But I also feel you've got to understand that there's truth mixed up with lies, and there's also fear chucked in there as well. So you've got to try and work out the wheat from the chaff type of thing, what's actually going on. So I do believe we do need to take responsibility for the planet, but it's not all our fault. I mean, you've got the rich elite flying around in all their private jets and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That doesn't help. But plastic's a big thing. If they can get rid of the plastic off the planet, it's going to really help. And it'll be a long, long time before we can get rid of fossil fuel. Okay? A long, long time. But there is new technology to come into play, which is going to help the planet. So you've got people like Donald Trump who are not really into all of that type of thing because they're like old players. But you're going to have new politicians coming into the States who are going to be more into like all the future technology. But you know, he's getting on. Do you know what I mean? You've got to look at like the age of them and things like that as well. Okay, so there's actually more scandals to come out to do with certain players around the Republican Party. It's not Trump, it's other players around the Republican Party. There's some shocking stuff to come out there, so watch for that. Okay. Big news by Christmas. I always thought something was going to happen before then. August, September's interesting. This is, I'm going into the White House, yeah. You know, going back to this UFO stuff, what's going on, I do think that there's some things being really held back here, And I actually do think that extraterrestrials are actually already here. This is what I feel. And they are working amongst with secret governments. So in a good way, not in a bad way. And I think to bring in this new technology to help humanity, it's not about just the planet. Well, it does. If it's helping the planet, it's also helping humanity's future. But you're looking at a completely different world here, a futuristic world. So some events are going to be brought on deliberately. I'm talking in quote here, right? Let me go drink a tea. A minute. Some events are going to be brought on deliberately to, then they can use the excuse to bring in this new technology. Okay? Okay. So I don't know much on the data centers because I haven't done much research on it, right? But why do I feel it's got like a fry type of energy? What's coming off it? This is what I feel, which is not good for the planet. This is what I'm being shown here. But I don't know if it's the data centers I'm looking at or I'm looking at the 5G centers, because there's something frying. There's something not good, which is affecting the insects. It's really weird because you've got people who are trying to protect the planet who are within the councils, especially within the UK and Europe. And then you've got people who are against it and don't give a shit. Like when was the last time you seen ladybird? You don't see these bugs now. Where's the ladybirds gone? Where's the caterpillars gone? You know? Really weird. So you've got people who are working against that energy and then people who are working for that energy. So it's still like the dark and the light force, and it's in every structure of the world, in everything what's going on, in every walk of life. But the light will win. We will come right in the end. You may doubt my words when they're all queuing up outside of airports waiting to get their hands stamped. Don't know why I'm being given that. Maybe that's going to replace some passports. But we are going through a transition. Right, I'm hearing Spanish news. A man talking in Spanish. Problems at an airport. Millions of people trapped, trying to get out of a situation. They have to take them over the sea. What am I tuning in with here? Everything's about to kick off, and it's through an event what takes place in the East, which is going to affect trade, which is going to start bringing everything down. I'm stuck on my lip. The frequencies and the noise of the data centers are destroying the water. That's it. And the birds and the insects, I felt it because I'm an empath. I feel it. And the insects move the seeds around the planet. It is devastating to life on Earth. So tonight we also need to send healing and blessings out to all the little birds and the insects. I don't kill spiders now. I used to freak out when I used to see them. I try to trap them now and put them back in the garden. And actually it's very lucky to have a spider in your house, because it brings money luck. Did you know that, guys? Okay. Plus they eat the flies, which flies aren't nice. Okay. So the data centers, I don't know, they're going to change. They're not going to last long. So something's going to, Iran war, is it, evacuating Dubai again? It's not over and done with there. When it was all saying there was a peace plan put into place. I don't see the peace plan in place. They're not taking any notice. I'm not getting a good vibe about Israel tonight, guys, and I don't know why. But I mean, it's not talked about much on the television now, is it? But I did see something where there was women giving birth over there, and they've got no special hospitals, you know. People are on the streets. They've got no running water or proper homes, you know. It's really bad. It's all about greed. It's really strange, you know, and it's not something I talk about much, but I do believe that there is such thing as the Antichrist. I don't know if there's many Christians in the audience tonight, but I believe there is such a person that's going to step forward. And I actually feel we're in them times where the Antichrist is going to reveal himself. But it will be from the East. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Or he's got Eastern connections. Now, the Eastern doesn't have to be with Iran. It could also be to do with Israel. I'm just saying. This, I'm just predicting, you know what I mean? But there's an A connected. I don't know if it's to do with a place or a person's name. Okay. Great restrictions to be put on people. Like I say, there's something far bigger coming than when we had with the COVID lockdowns. Can you hear us okay, guys? Because I've got a big fan on in the background, and I don't know if it's affecting the audio or not. You'll have to give us a yes or a no. Okay. This is really strange. And I don't know why I would get him. I've got... Oh, God. Was he in the Backstreet Boys? He was married to Cheryl Cole, Liam. Or he was with Cheryl Cole. They had a child together. Liam, who died. I can't think of his surname. Does anybody know who I'm going on about? I don't know why I'm sensing him coming in from spirit. Because he took his own life, didn't he? It was to do with mental health. Liam Payne, I'm feeling his energy very, I don't know. I hope Cheryl's not watching this. Oh, the audio's good. Well, you know, God love him. I'm feeling his energy here. And he's going on about young men and mental health and the pressure that was put on him within show business and all of that type of thing. And I think there's a great lot of pressure put on men, you know, and men, especially British men, you know, they find it hard to express emotions. I don't know if it's a British thing we do, like stiff up our lip, you know, just don't say anything, be a man, don't say anything. But I see mental health really is crying, not just the UK, the States as well, Europe, everywhere. I feel there needs to be, in the West, basically, a great problem to do with mental health. And there's going to be a lot of change to take place with the new earth. He's coming in. He's saying there's going to be an advocate, somebody who's going to come forth about all of this. Are you all right, Liam? Oh, God love him. He says that he never stopped loving Cheryl. I don't know if they had problems and they had split, but he never stopped loving. But he did he have a drugs problem? He struggled with something, you know. And I believe that Liam Payne was, if I find a link, I'll put, because I know there's probably a lot of Americans in the audience tonight who don't know who I'm going on about. I'll put a link in the description about him. Yeah, it's definitely to do with mental health, because I'm also seeing Caroline Flack coming forwards. She was somebody else who took her own life. So he's actually saying that there is a technology out there which tries to, this sounds really horrible what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it, what tries to switch people off. Yeah, like tries to, it's like a technology type of thing. It's a hidden technology. But it comes out on the surface 3D that people look like they're having, they're having a mental breakdown or whatever. So Owen's put here in the audience on Twitch, he was clean, he did have a drugs problem. I think that left him wide open, because when anything that you take what messes with your brain, it opens you wide up, basically, to things which can sort of come in. And you're talking anything from demons, dark entities, but also we're not just dealing with that, we're also dealing with a strange technology. This is why I keep saying it's so important that we keep grounded, keep yourself clean, right? Try not to take psychedelics or alcohol. I mean, why do you think they call it spirits? They call it spirits for a reason. We have to be so careful. You know, and you've got in the Quran, they talk about the jinns, the genies, and then you talk in the Bible, they talk about the demons, and it's the dark ones, whichever way you want to talk about it. In the galactic community, they talk about the archons or the reptilians, but you've got to be so careful, right? But because anything that you take what messes with your grey matter can actually make you spiritually vulnerable. Yeah, so I think it's about we're all coming together and looking after our men, looking after, be it either of its fathers, brothers, husbands, sons, keeping an eye on them, do you know what I mean? And know, you know, and I just think that there needs to be more help out there, doesn't there? Definitely. It was a bit of a mystery. Somebody's put here like Liam was killed, but that was never proven, really, was it? Definitely dodgy. It's something that I should look into. It's just a bit too close to home. Do you know what I mean? I don't want Cheryl coming banging on my door. And you've got to understand, I mean, he's left a son, a little boy. You know what I mean? And you've got to be like very sort of careful, you know, that the kids don't see these things. You've got to think of these things. But he's coming through and he's healing. He's healing. So he's saying he was a starseed. So starseeds tend to try to escape the reality of the density on the planet. And what they do is they tend to go towards addictions and stuff like that. Again, it's about the community of everybody sticking together and looking after each other. A trusting community, yeah. And what Mystery's put here in Twitch, that some of these psychedelic drugs open the third eye and all sorts come flooding in. When you do it naturally, you're more in control, you see. And kids are disowning their parents and some, yeah, and there's so many different nasty drugs out there. And that's one thing I do like about President Trump, mind. I mean, he's adamant about keeping the borders of America, keeping the fentanyl and all these nasty drugs out of the States. We need somebody like that in the UK to protect our borders. I don't know if you agree, from all the drugs, because they're coming in over the borders. If that wasn't allowed to happen, then it would be safer for our children. Bless Liam, bless him. He's healing on the other side and he does visit his son. He wishes he could turn the clocks back. He didn't plan it, it came over him. God love him. Back in the day, they used to call it a breakdown, but they don't call it now. It's literally, you think a breakdown, you're sitting there rocking for hours. He said he got up in the morning and he was fine, and all of a sudden it just clicked over him and he didn't realise what he was doing. He didn't realise. So, you know, it makes you wonder if something dark pushed him that way. But then, be it either demonic or an energy, but it pushed him to do what it did. A bit like with David Wilcock as well, which I think is the same thing. And then when he realised what he had done, it was too late. But this is something I've got with David Wilcock as well. The light came. The light came. The darkness pushed him. But the light rescued him. I've got David here now. Oh my God, David. Got David Wilcock. Are you all right, David? We all love you so much. He said it's cool over here. I'm at peace, Louise. It's lovely to talk to you. We have an audience here who want to know if you're all right. I did my bit for Earth. I tried. Okay. You're right, he says it's not always the case where there is, I'm getting all these suicides coming in tonight, goodness me. He says it's not always the case. It looks on the 3D like somebody's just taken their own life. He says, but they came to him and they mind programmed him. They came for the paperwork. He had the patents from the professor what was taken out. He had the paperwork. He had the patents. And they took it. But they programmed him so he wouldn't speak. By touching his hand. They were being very nice to him in the house. Men in black came to his house, told him that he had to leave in an undertone. CIA used this with certain trick words. The dog knew. He's with his dog. Did he? Right, he's with his dog. Did he lose his dog? You with your dog, David? I'm with my dog. He's helping others on the other side. And he says, even suicides go to the Spirit, go to the Lord. If that's where you want to go, you will go to the Lord. That's what he's saying. And he's helping, he's healing. If you want to heal, you can heal on the other side. Okay. Just got to carry on doing the big fight. That's what he's saying. And he loves all his friends and his family. He's sad at the ripple effect that it's caused. So much debt, man. So much debt. He's saying, he's doing this with his tummy and he's rubbing his tummy. Oh, God bless him. And he's saying that they really took him out. They really took him. They did him big time. They were firing at him for every angle, and he was overwhelmed. He didn't want to lose his home. And he couldn't eat properly. He was sick. He was also sick. He couldn't eat properly. It's too much for him. He didn't plan it. You're right, Louise. You're right. He's saying he didn't plan it. They program, they have the technology to do this, or they can come in and get people to plant it into your head to do it. But they never got his soul. So your soul, your angels came for you, yeah? Yes. He's got these lovely blue eyes and he's smiling. So he says that shungite, you're right, crystals, try to keep away from substances, guys. Be well body, well mind, well soul, and believe in faith, have faith. If it gets too much, be in nature, eat well. But there was targeting, yes. So I'm going to say something, David. So what happened to Virginia Giuffre, was it a similar situation with what they did to you? And he's going, yes. Yes. If you talk, they worry that you talk. They'll take you out, man. You're saying they'll take you out, man. But we're winning. There's far more good on this planet. It's because he had something. He had something that they wanted, and they came for it. Are you allowed to talk what it was? It's everything that he advocated. It was everything that he did. Him and Corey Good, all the whole team, the galactics, the technology. He misses the Sunday nights, guys. He wants to tell you that he loves you all, and he's sorry for letting you down because he never wanted to do that. He didn't plan this. I believe you, David. He wants to tell you all tonight. He did not plan that. He wants to tell you that. We know that, David. We know that. God love you. There's a lot of love in this audience tonight for David and for others who the same things happen to. So what it's basically is, you can take the technology out of it and the men in black and the technology. It ultimately comes down to good and evil. He's going, yes. Yes. Have faith, man. That's what he's saying. Have faith, man. This is really interesting, right? So even though there's a lot of good people on the planet, there's actually quite a lot of Satanists on the planet, and this is what I'm being given from David. And I agree that you can't change. He's agreeing with me as well. You cannot change. we all come here to do our bit, okay, and it's school. So even the Satanists are allowed to be here. Unfortunately, it's a free will world. But what you've got to understand is it's one thing what they're doing, but it's another thing when you've got elite people who are corrupting the situation by also using witchcraft and energy on, they use witches. So this is a message for all witches out there tonight. I'm really going down it tonight, aren't I? Witch, I hate the word witch, right? Different it should be, but right. So you're either a dark witch or a white witch. There's some grey witches out there, but it basically, witchcraft means that you can go one way or another. And what they do is, I'm not saying whether they're getting somebody like Mrs. Brown down the street who's very into it all, that they would employ her, but they would sort of use her energies to get to somebody. It's very clever how they do it. So it's everything's frequency, everything's energy, and that's what witchcraft is. So what we have to do is we have to raise this vibration in this forum tonight to not be in fear, all right, and to realize how powerful we are as magical, multi-dimensional beings of the light, that we can overcome all of this, and we're not scared because we've got God on our side. And he's saying you haven't got to worry about a lot of the extraterrestrials. Oh, right, David, tell us more. He says there's a lot of extraterrestrials. He's realised this more so since he's gone over. There's a lot of them here. And there's actually 2 or 3. We don't know everything about, and this is which is affecting our health as well. So there's different type of Homo sapiens on this planet. We're all different. 2 or 3 different types of Homo sapiens on this planet. Am I pronouncing that right? Okay. And we haven't all come from monkeys. So some of yous out here in the audience are so well ascended, you're as close as what a Pleiadian would be. So we have to go, which I like what Daisy Chains has put here in Twitch, energy flows to where your attention goes. I love that saying, and I think it's so true. Okay. Is there anything that you can tell us, David? The big showdowns to come. They're going to try and take Trump out again, that's what he's saying. We sort of knew that anyway, didn't we? We haven't got to panic. We haven't got to panic. Know for a fact when it goes dark, when everything goes out, the lights go out, it's the days of darkness that they talk about in the book. And it's at that time they're going to bring in this new energy, this new quantum energy, what's going to come in. I know this sounds really strange and I don't know Corey Good, but he wants to send a message to Corey Good that he will be okay and he's got to stop blaming himself. I don't know what that means. And that he's okay and I love you, brother. It's okay. Because I think what he means is that a lot of we do this when we lose somebody we love. Friends even. Oh, why didn't I ring? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? It's always if, buts and whys. If I'd done this, could this have been prevented? So I think that there's been a lot of David's friends have been going through the mill and thinking we could have prevented this if we'd rang up or whatever. But like I say, David is agreeing. He never got up that morning thinking that he was going to do that. It came over him. So this is a message for anybody who's listening who was feeling down, right? Remember that energy and frequency moves all the time. So how you could be having the most shittiest day ever, you could be winning the lottery tomorrow and having the best day of your entire life. Nothing stays the same. Energy moves all the time. So what was going on with your health? He said he couldn't even afford to eat. At one point he was so unwell. I don't know if his parents or family was lending him money. God bless him. And I think that he's rubbing his tummy, so I don't know if he had intolerances or he needed certain foods, or, you know, and he was losing weight because of it. He said it was all emotional. It was all emotional what he was going through. All emotional. Are you going to go back through now? You can come back through any time you want. The great storm's approaching. Tell my American friends to hold on tight. He's got that sort of cheeky smile about him, and he's smiling with his lovely blue eyes. He's got his hair down. Okay. The Galactics, he says the Galactics are making deals with the secret government. This is what he's saying. These aren't my words. This is what David's saying. Okay. A great sea event. I've talked about that before. There's a great sea event coming. Get your lanterns, he's saying. Get your lanterns, because it's about to be showtime. This is what he's saying. Right, okay. We love you very much. Heal David. The Ring of Fire. There's a Ring of Fire coming. Excuse me. What's that mean, the Ring of Fire? It has to happen. He's saying it's something about... I know this sounds really crazy, but it's something about burning the witches out, getting rid of the negative, the evil. There's something about a great fire coming. The last time we had a great fire in the UK was the Great Fire of London. If I find a link, I'll put in a link in the description. What was the other thing I was going to put? Oh, Liam Payne, wasn't I? And then the Great Fire of London. That was interesting. But again, these are events which have taken place, and sometimes, like I said to you before, trapped energy. Then you've got the witches, the Salem witch trials. You know, you had all the witch trials around Europe and old England. This old energy is unhealed, and it's come back again. But who really were? I need to do it. It deserves its own. It deserves its own video. Who really were the witches? Are we talking about the witch hunters? Yeah, the men who were saying that they were part of the cloth, but they weren't really the cloth, part of the cloth. And they're the ones who were the real witches. You know, the best film I've seen on it. It's got Ali, who died, who was in Cheers. What was she called? Ali McBeal? What was her surname? Anyway, she played one of the witches, and it was a really good version of Salem's witch trials. I don't know if anyone's seen that. But it's a sign. He's saying there's a fire sign coming. When there's a fire, it'll be symbolic. A bit like what happened with Notre Dame. That was something else, a sign. That's how the elites communicate, through signs. And I love what Maggie's put here, and I will do a video on it at some point. Maggie Motherall just put, to me the word witch is a bad word for women. Yes, it is. like the N is the other word. It is. It's insulting because I don't even know. To me, it's like you can do good things with witchcraft as well. You really, really can. You know, you can do herbal stuff and Wicca stuff and all that type of thing, you know. So I just think that it's the fear behind it, and I think that it's trying to suppress the ones who are doing the good and putting us in the same category to the Satanists, and it's a completely different thing. Don't forget, witchcraft has been around a lot longer than Christianity, and it was far run in this country alone before even Christianity took place. And it's all to do with fear as well, isn't it? So this has got all mixed in with Satanism, and it's trying to make us look bad type of thing. Kirsty Alley. Yes. I've got some good books, some really good books on herbal witchcraft medicine, you know, and one of them is making a honey tincture. I used to give it to the boys when they were little and put the garlic in and that, and they never ever hardly had antibiotics. Well, Luke did until he got his tonsils out, but after that I gave them a lot of natural remedies. Okay, so I feel he's going now. He's fading out. It's with his dog. I feel it's a biggish dog that he's got over there in the spirit. I feel like I need to sing this. Ring a rosies, a pocket full of posies, a tissue, we all fall down. Now, that was Old England. Children sung it, and it was about singing about the plague. A tissue, we all fall down. I'm being given that again. Oh my God, is there another virus coming in? Yes. Manufactured? Yes. Short-lived? Yes. Remember that. Well, I'm definitely into all the natural medicines. I actually have a herbal medicine for animals and cats and dogs as well, Maggie. I mean, you know the situation when I put the flea drop on Zizi's fur and it burnt the bloody hole in the back of her neck, and then she ended up with ulcerated dermatitis, and it was horrible. So, and I must say, Maggie in the audience said, don't give her anything like that. It will not be, and you were right. You were right. But slowly, and with a lot of love and attention, she's got better. So I'll never say the dogs were fine with that, but they had a different fur. And Nala was fine. But Zizi's very delicate, and she's like a Burmese, you know, so it just burned through her beautiful black fur. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's a lot of people practice, it's called green witching, herbal medicine, all of that type of thing. And you can look up all of this, kitchen witchcraft, all of that, a lot of herbs out your cupboard. You can do amazing things. But that's one thing. But when you're dealing with a Satanist, it's on another level. Do you know what I mean? Okay. What else am I getting? Something really big is coming through about coal and oil, and I'm getting this on a global scale, okay? But it's coming through big time where there's going to be a problem. I feel the last time this happened, I believe, was it in the 90s to do with Q8 there was a problem? There's going to be a problem with oil and gas, so I feel there's going to be a rise of gas and fuel. And then I feel Australia is going to step in with something, and it's also to do with oil and gas as well. I'm getting Germany very strong. That's another place what needs healed from as well, is Auschwitz. I mean, you've got people what going, horrendous place what happened back in the day with the Jews, and it did happen. I know there's people out there saying it didn't. It did happen. My brother went to see it, and I couldn't go. I think I'd pass out if I went there. But the place needs exercised, cleansed, healed, because I do worry as a medium how many souls are trapped in that area. And this is like, there's a lot of mediums who would agree with this. You know, you need to go in and clean all these places up. We've got the most haunted castle in Britain is called Chillingham Castle, and it's not far away from where I live. And it looks like bloody Dracula's castle from the outside. It's actually got a bat on the gate, right? At night time, it's the most spookiest place. And there was this earl what lived there, and he turned mad. And he apparently had loads of wives and children, and he murdered them all in this castle. And people pay, this is no word of a lie, whoever owns the castle, pay a lot of money, and then people go and stay there overnight so they can have a freaky night listening to the screams. And seriously, right? Okay. And I haven't actually stayed in the castle, but I've been on the grounds at night time. I went with a friend late one night, and this is when I was fit. I couldn't do it now. And I climbed over the wall, and it was the most terrifying experience of my entire life. And I mean, you're talking, I've witnessed all sorts of things, you know. I've witnessed exorcisms and everything. And this was one of them. I would say this was at the top level of being terrified. Okay, I had to leave. It was horrible. And the whole place needs to be exercised. So there's a lot of places on earth what need to be cleansed, and where the spirits need to go back over because they're trapped. You know, there's a lot of places around the world. And you're talking war zones as well, you know. People who are trapped. Earth is in fracture mode, and Earth is healing at the moment. Okay, I'm not getting much on Trump tonight, actually. Just what the crystal ball's given us. But for me to talk about suicide, it's important because these individuals which have come through tonight, they're coming through for a reason. And it's about protecting ourselves and protecting our loved ones. Are we in biblical times? And I do believe we are. Goodness me. Goodness me, guys. Let me get a drink. You never believe what I'm getting here tonight. This is unreal. Right. The thing is with these crystal balls, you can't tell them what to do. It's just whoever comes through. I've just looked in here and I've seen the souls what died on the Titan. Now, if you don't know what I'm going on about, I will link it in the description. So it was apparently this billionaire, had this contraption where he was taking rich people down in this sort of drone thing, which was actually run by like what you would use like a PlayStation thing, right? Okay. And they were going down into the seabed, and it was to see Titanic, to see the ship which sunk. And these poor individuals apparently died. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. Apparently died by an accident. What I'm being given here tonight is it wasn't an accident, and it's coming through really strong. I can see these faces stepping forward. There's injustice which is happening on this side, But there's also, tonight, I'm getting the souls which have gone through with the injustice where they don't feel like they got their justice because it was covered up. Now I'm getting the scientists coming forward as well. This is so crazy. I'm just going to clear this. Okay, so one of these guys which was on the Titan had a futuristic technology that they didn't want out. Injustice, it's all coming out, it's all coming to a head. I've got Virginia Giuffre here. Hello, Virginia. He's still alive, she's shouting, he's still alive. I'm being careful how I channel this, okay? You know who I'm going on about, guys, okay? She's saying yes, that they did the same to her. She lived on a remote part, like what David Wilcock did. A remote part of a farm, like a little homestead she had in Australia, remote part in the bush. And they came, the men in black came in the cars. And they did the same to her as well. And she was going through mental health problems as well. And there's no way she would have planned this. She loved her kids. There's no way she would have done this. She fought tooth and nail for her kids. They're not human, she's saying. They're not human. So they're working within agencies. And who are they then? She's saying they're like sort of like a manufactured sort of synth. But they've got like a... Yeah, she's just saying they're like a manufactured synth. They're not flesh, and they are it's highly advanced technology. This is what these men in black are. They're not actually human. Okay. She loved her 2 children too much. There's no way she would have left. She loved her animals. Okay. And she worries for Marjorie Taylor Greene, for how she has been so courageous. She loves Marjorie Taylor Greene for helping the women of these victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but she worries for her safety, and she wants to we need to send healing out to Marjorie tonight, guys. So why would they protect Jeffrey? Jeffrey was just a part of it. That's what you're saying. Where is Jeffrey? Israel. That's where he is. Okay. All the big names, that's why they're not letting it out. sticking up for Trump. Now, I'm not making this up. I am not making this up. You know me. I'll say it the way it is. But she's actually sticking up for Trump. She's saying Trump's not who... She says there's no way. She says they're trying to bring him in on it. There's a lot of people's names in there mentioned. It doesn't mean that he didn't go to the island. And she's saying he was always kind. President Trump was always kind to her. But he's not perfect. Right, okay. A lot of this is about Melania. It's about Melania and how Melania got into the country. It's interesting. People in high places can pull situations. So he was an agent. He was a definite agent. And so was Ghislaine Maxwell. Okay. So it's all part of a child trafficking ring as well. This is what you're saying, and it's not. It's a global thing. It's a global thing. They're all linked. It's all part of this dark underworld network. And there's another two Jeffrey Epsteins out there. What do you mean by that? So what she's saying is like Jeffrey to that level of what Jeffrey was doing, and they're actually in our walk of society. She can't say names, and she wants to say this to protect me, but she's saying that there's another two people well known within society who are at that same level as Jeffrey Epstein. It was all staged. They beat him up and they took him out a week previous so they could get him out of there before they actually mentioned it, and they staged it with another body. It was all staged. Are you all right now? She still feels frustrated. She's going on about her book. Was there another book? How many books did you do? How many books did you do? She's actually saying even though she was a victim, she was one of the lucky ones. Not to what's happened to her at the end, but, you know, she came onto this planet, her higher self knew what she was doing. In a strange sort of twisted way, sometimes when we are light workers, we put ourselves into a situation like that so then we can be out there to expose the evil. You know, to expose the evil. And it's still going on. So these two other people that are on the same level as Epstein, will we get to find this out? She's saying yes. And this is what's in the real files. The real files, what has not been released. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here. You know, she's saying Trump was always kind. Is that... She was working at Mar-a-Lago, wasn't she? Or working as a monsieur? Monsieur? Am I saying the right word right? She's saying he was always kind to her. Okay. You know, she's going on about flight logs and logs, flight logs what don't get logged. You know, you're talking, you can pay a lot of money and you can just go out there on a flight and nobody would know about it. Is that jammed? Let's see, multi-stream. Are we multi-streams working now, guys? That's brilliant. Let's turn this off. She said she was heartbroken and she'd gone through a really bad divorce. She says the real names will come out and it will be leaked. She's worried about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think Marjorie's very careful about how I think Marjorie's fully aware of what's actually going on. She doesn't say much, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes it pays to live in the city. You know, and I'm not trying to put people off who are living in the middle of nowhere, but sometimes when you're in the city, you're a little bit more safer, aren't you? Or are you? Just see if I can get any more from her. She didn't plan to do it. Okay. I think she's trying to tell us something about the crash she had on her land, and then she ended up doing a post and she had all these bruises on her face. And she's saying that that was orchestrated and put together, not by her. So basically they can infiltrate literally anything and put anything together. The artificial intelligence is a lot more highly advanced than we know. Okay. Right, she's pulling away now. She's saying watch for the truth coming out, and it will put the cat amongst the pigeons with Melania, because that's how she came in illegally. But you see, Trump's probably paid a lot of money to get her into it look like it's been. So he's not perfect, you know what I mean? But she's saying he's not done anything that way, right? Like Epstein was up to and stuff like that. But that's how they've got Melania in. That's going to all come out. Okay. Just looking around here. So crazy weather to come. A lot of twisters to come into the middle part of the United States of America. And I think 2027 is going to be the year of all the storms, you know. There's something strange coming out to do with Miami again. And I keep going back to that situation at the shopping mall, which I did think was a bit strange. Can you remember that? Where the people had seen visions of extraterrestrials walking through the shopping mall. Oh my God, could you imagine? I'm seeing another situation to do with that area again. But I'm also very drawn to California. And I see a man and I see like a shooting situation. But then I'm seeing the mystery connected to it where somebody disappears. I'm drawn to California. I don't know what this means. Remember that. Stock market. There will be a crash. There definitely will be a crash. It's short-lived. Something will go, something's going to happen, and I don't know. They're all announcing it. They're announcing it, that they're saying something. They're labeling it with something, what's going to happen, and they're actually saying it's short-lived. Now that I've never had before. This is like a new prediction, because things change. They're going to say something's happening with the market, and we're going to all panic. But then it's short-lived, and then at that point, that's when they're going to do the switch over. They chop and change their mind all the time. Remember, there's different timelines, which are sometimes events are taking place to make things happen or to bring in the excuse of the new technology. And that's what I see what's happening. A lot of scandals to come out with the meat market. I'm not even going to go down that one. Not tonight anyway, because I've had some meat tonight, so I really don't know if I want to talk about that situation tonight. But we just don't know what we're buying nowadays, do we? And I did talk about this, actually. I will say this. I did buy a steak once from Aldi, which looked... Actually, no, it wasn't. It was Tesco's, funny enough. And it was a one which was already sealed in the plastic. And it was 2 steaks. And I thought, oh, I'll do them for my evening meal for me and Adam, my son. And I'm not kidding you, it was like a material. It was stretchy. I couldn't even chew into it. My teeth are quite sharp. And I was pulling the bloody thing like that, and it looked like elastic. You know, like elastic, what you would have like around a waspy belt. Remember? Do you remember, ladies, the waspy belts from the 80s? It was like stretchy like that. And I says to Adam, and Adam he loves his steak, right? He's a big meat eater, and he's going, Mother, this isn't right, this. I says, leave it, we'll throw it away. Oh my God, it was like a material. It wasn't real. You know, has that ever happened to you before? Because I just feel there's going to be a lot of when this new earth arises, the food industry is going to be the biggest thing what's going to get cleaned up, because we really don't know what's in what. And there's going to be a lot of things to protect with, but it's going to uncover a lot of things. And plastic's going to be the biggest thing. Once they remove that, it's going to change everything. But it will affect a lot of jobs and a lot of businesses. New policies being put into place. New earth. And they're using a word, something free. You know how they'll say phosphates free, like you can buy bacon now where it's got something free in it, you know, or it's this is something else, and it's got something to do with plastic. I do feel I fear empty shelves on shops in supermarkets. So I feel that there could be, for a short time, there could be trade problems. As I'm looking into this crystal ball, I'll normally look on no more than 2 years, no more. But I'm feeling tonight this is about 2026 going into 2027. And a lot of these visions that I've seen are just within a matter of months, weeks to months. So David Shields put here, genetically modified food and seeds, microplastics. Yeah, that's what it felt. It was definitely something plasticky. So I do agree with what Colin's put here. And normally I normally do go to an amazing guy who has grass-fed cows. It's, you know, his cows have had no antibiotics or steroids, and everything's free, you know. But for some unknown reason, I had seen them on the special, and I was tempted. This is what they do. They tempt we. So be careful of temptation. That's what we need to do. Because it wasn't good. It wasn't real meat. Just having a little look here. So I go to a place called Basleep Farm, where he has his own little butcher shop. He sells it on the site. We've got the cows at one side, and then you're going into this lovely farm shop. And he does his own butter and milk, and you can take your glass bottles and go and fill your milk up. It's, you know, it's raw milk, really. Or he does the organic milk. And he makes his own meatballs and everything, and it's all lovely. Do you know what I mean? That's what I normally go to. But I also do shop either Aldi or Tesco's. Sometimes I'll go to Costco. I do like Lidl as well, but Aldi I went there last Saturday, and I get fruit and veg delivered every Wednesday. That comes from another farm, and I think it helps when you've got it delivered, because then you know you've got to cook it and you've got to do something with it. Do you know what I mean? But food's so expensive now. Do you know what I mean, guys? So, yeah, we have to be careful of these temptations. That's fading out now. Is anything else? Loads of protests are coming to Ireland. There's something about a convoy, a big convoy, what's going to take place. I think there's something rising about the farmers. There's, all these horrible laws and restrictions that they put on farmers and ranchers. I think that there's going to be something coming in EU laws. I don't know what's going on here. There's something coming out. And I've said this before, there's going to be more scandals to come out to do with the Brexit. Something what was covered up. She's smiling again and just coming in again. Oh, she's just waving. She's happy. I'm healing now. They tortured her. They definitely tortured her. And they will be karma on that. Even if they were not real. We have to protect our farms. And we have to protect our people and our children and our animals. And don't let them totally take over. This is what she's saying. Don't let them totally take everything over. Because this is now the divide coming into the new crystal grid and the new earth people who want to live off the planet and protect the planet. And I think what's going to happen is, I think it's going to be the great divide will come to understand each other eventually. But we're just going through a messy part at the minute. Okay. And David's smiling again. He's smiling, he's waving. And I can sort of see them going back through the tunnel. The first time I seen the tunnel was when my brother passed. And he showed us what it was like going through this beautiful Gaia's tunnel. Because when we pass, our umbilical cord snaps. And then we leave our body. And then we go back through this beautiful shell-like windy tunnel. And it's very busy in there. Lots of people. And then right at the end, you go into the heavens. You go right in through. And he's there and he's healing. And Liam Payne again. It has to happen. We're not going to let them win. The darkness isn't going to win. We as a human race are going to fight back, and we're all going to help each other. A new understanding. It's like we're going back to the 1940s when the doors were all open in the streets. If there was a death in the street or somebody had a baby, they'll go knocking on the door. Hi, how are you doing? I've cooked you a chicken, or here's some whiskey or brandy, or we've come to see you, put the kettle on. There's none of that now. It's all rush, 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 hustle and bustle. And humanity became broken. The society, we started to lose what was real. With social media, yes, it's fantastic, and it reaches around the world, and it's fantastic. And this is just the start. We're going to be teleporting within 10 years, I'm telling you. But we need to still have the real times. Go back to the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. Knocking on the doors. Happy New Year. And The community, we need that back again. It's so, so important. So this is coming through from all these people who are brought through tonight, that we have to all support each other and support your little butcher shops and stuff like that. Don't give away our full power. Yes, we can take the beauty of it with the technology and on social media and stuff like that, but at the same time, have your real life. There's going to be a breaking down, and then a great divide, and then a great second awakening. And when the great second awakening comes, we will have the roaring 20s again. Until then, I'm going to leave you there with a lot of love from Spirit. Yeah. Bit of a strange one tonight, guys, eh? But it had to be done. And I'll be back on again soon. I'm just seeing if there's anything else there. Fractured earth. She's crying out. She's healing. Some things are natural and some things aren't. But the synths, the robots, whatever you want to call them, there's a lot more of them here than we know. A lot more than the human race. And Musk knows this. And this is why Musk said we need to get the birth up again. We need to procreate, whatever he was saying. I think we're quite outnumbered by synths. Now, I don't want you to come off this show tonight freaking out, but take note when you're walking down the street how people are with you. And I'll leave that one with you. The question is, do you want your red pill or your blue pill? And I'll see you again soon. May the force be with you all. I'm off to make a hot chocolate. And I'll see you again soon. Good night, God bless, wherever you all are around the world. This is your Psychic LJ signing out. Now, how do I get out of here? Oh, yes.